and start with a small group of new questions. DEI. I'm going to start with Tony. The E for equity was newly put in 2020 to change D and sign I to DEI. What do corporate leaders need to know about the new E for equity? And also, do you think enough newly minted DEI hired folks understand the E in DEI? Tony?
So I think one of the things that equity means to point out is that discrimination, whether it's ageism or whether it's around issues of race or gender, is built into the system. And it's part of the DNA of the system. It's not necessarily about differences in opportunity or things like that, that there are inherent biases in the system itself. Now, that could be the culture of the company, it could be in the hiring system, it can be in policy and processes, it can be in procurement, it can be in lots of different things. But you need to be able to look through that lens and be able to ask yourself, and you need tools actually to be able to do this well. You need to be able to say, are the ways in which we take for granted how we do certain things, how we hire, even our hiring practices, are there biases that are inherent into that that we can't even see that are actually disadvantaging certain people or certain populations? I mean, and you mentioned the SDGs. So I was at the UN when we were putting the SDGs together, and out of that, I've consulted with some companies, and I consulted with a company actually that was a startup looking to work in HR and actually trying to advance the gender equity SDG, and was using software that is normally used in corporate settings for performance reviews, and finding a way to actually make those reviews blind so that you're not understanding the gender of the person that is being considered for promotion or otherwise. And the statistics that they were able to come up with in the differences between companies that were trying to use their product and companies that weren't, and how different people were considered for different, because it's just sort of, like I say, it's inherent in the system. And unless you find ways to take that bias out, equity is going to be something really difficult to achieve.
Wonderful. Thank you for that.